What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm gonna be showing you 5 games from my childhood that had like a big impact on me. I kind of sorted these in chronological order. So number 1 is Yoshi's Story on the Nintendo 64. This game is really special to me because it's one of my first memories of like buying a video game in my childhood. By the time I was playing video games, maybe around age 3 or 4, the GameCube had already come out and the N64 was like starting to die off. So I was actually really lucky to sort of see the ending of the Nintendo 64. So in that time, GameStop was still selling like used N64 games. I actually remember going into GameStop and they just had like big bins full of N64 games. And I remember my grandma taking me to GameStop one day and this is the game that I picked out. It actually still has GameStop's used label on here. This was $17. And so this game was one of my earliest like childhood video game memories. And the funny thing is that I barely even played this game in my childhood. And sort of the funny story behind that is that when I bought this game from GameStop, I guess whoever had owned it previously set the language settings in this game to Japanese. And I remember just sitting in front of the TV feeling so confused because, you know, I couldn't read anything because it was all in Japanese. And it wasn't until like over 10 years later when I finally took Japanese in high school and I could finally change the language settings on this game. That was like one of my biggest accomplishments as a gamer. But anyway, that is Yoshi's Story, one of my earliest childhood video game memories. So next up, number 4 is a game that I don't really have with me right now. But anyway, that game is Thomas the Train on the PC. I don't know the exact title of the game, but I'll put it on screen. I have so many memories of this game from my childhood. Throughout my childhood, I freaking loved Thomas the Train. I always remember going to Toys R Us with my grandma and she'd always buy me like one new train. But anyway, the Thomas the Train game on the PC was really awesome. I feel like it was really innovative for the time, but it came with like this big piece that you would sort of mount onto your keyboard, and basically there were like a whole bunch of buttons you could press and they would sort of correspond with the keys on the keyboard. And even today, like, I think that's freaking awesome. I probably spent hours as a kid just sitting in the dark in front of the computer playing that Thomas the Train PC game. That game really just sucked up a lot of my childhood, but that is the Thomas the Train game on PC that I loved during my childhood. I actually just want to take a quick break here for sort of an honorable mention. Since I'm on the topic of PC games, some other PC games that really had an impact on me in my childhood was a bunch of games from Humongous Entertainment. This is one of those companies that I feel like, you know, only 90s kids will remember. Like, I feel like this is the type of thing you would see on those stupid BuzzFeed lists. But anyway, Humongous Entertainment made a whole bunch of PC games that I freaking loved during my childhood. I mainly played a lot of Pajama Sam and Putt Putt. Those PC games, along with the Thomas the Train PC game, just really sucked up a lot of my time. And apparently a lot of the Humongous games are on Steam right now. But anyway, that was a quick honorable mention. Next up, number 3 is Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS. This is once again another video game that sucked up a lot of my childhood. It all started with getting the original DS on Christmas. I remember opening up that present and me, along with my 2 brothers, all got a Nintendo DS along with Super Mario 64 DS. And sometime later, I got Animal Crossing Wild World. I'm gonna try to not make this sound too serious, but video games were a lot of what helped me get through a lot of the personal things that happened during my childhood, and Animal Crossing on the DS was one of those games that helped me. Now this is gonna sound really sad. This is something that I honestly just am embarrassed to even mention, but honestly, when I was playing Animal Crossing on the DS, I genuinely considered all of my neighbors in Animal Crossing to be my friends. This is just embarrassing and it makes me sound so sad. But I mean, I honestly would just, you know, write real letters in Animal Crossing to my neighbors, and I would consider them my friends. It's so stupid. Of course, I did not consider Resetti to be my friend because screw that guy. I feel like especially on the DS version of Animal Crossing, Resetti was just a real pain in the butt. Anyway, that is Animal Crossing on the DS. It brought me some of my only friends during my childhood. So on to number 2, which once again is a game that I don't have in my possession right now. But anyway, number 2 is Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. This is a game that I had a lot of memories of sort of in my later childhood years. It took me a while to ever figure out how to play like, you know, 3D games. Even today, I honestly kind of suck at, you know, 3D first-person shooters. So a lot of times during my childhood, I would just watch my older brother play 3D games. One of those games being Luigi's Mansion. I would just sit there and watch him play through Luigi's Mansion, and you know, that was just a lot of what my childhood was. And I think we didn't even have a memory card for the GameCube or something. So basically every time we played through Luigi's Mansion, we'd have to always just start from the beginning and see how far we could get. So the first like hour or so of Luigi's Mansion is just burned into my brain. I think it wasn't until I was like 11 or 12 years old that I could actually beat Luigi's Mansion by myself. And ever since then, it has actually sort of been a tradition that I play through Luigi's Mansion every year at Halloween. I think it's a fun little video game tradition. I honestly probably couldn't get sick of that game. It really does just have like a special place in my heart. Anyway, that is number 2, Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. And the last game on the list of games from my childhood is Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS. I know this game is still like pretty new, but out of all of the Mario Kart games, I think this one has the most meaning to me. It's weird to hold a 3DS card now, because the only like game cards that I use nowadays is for the Switch, and those are tiny. Now 3DS cards feel like the fatter, older brother. But seriously, I played like a whole bunch of Mario Kart 7. During the summer between my last year of middle school and my first year of high school, I pretty much had nothing to do. So basically I would just stay up till 2 in the morning every single night playing Mario Kart with some of my school friends. Every single night was Mario Kart night. And because of that, I guess I just started to get really good at Mario Kart. I don't want to brag, but I honestly do consider myself a pretty darn good Mario Kart player. I think one day I'll make a video where I kind of teach you guys how I play Mario Kart. But it all started with Mario Kart 7. This is the game that I sort of mastered, and you know, the game that got me really good at Mario Kart. So I have a lot to thank for this game. It got me to be a pretty darn good Mario Kart player. But anyway guys, those are 5 games from my childhood. I hope you guys liked this video and maybe you could relate to some of the games that I had on my list. Also let me know in the comments some of your guys' favorite games from your childhood. But thank you for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye!